If you're planning to buy or sell in Burnaby this year, May's number just reveals something most people are missing. One segment of the market is holding up surprisingly well, while others have seen prices fall by as much as 10%. If you don't know where your property fits or where you're planning to buy, you could be making a very expensive mistake over the next few months. Let's break down exactly what's happening. Before we jump in, if you're curious about what your home would realistically sell for in today's market, I've included a free home evaluation link below. Now let's get into what's actually happening in Burnaby. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Nancy Chi, your Burnaby realtor. Every month, I break down what's happening in Burnaby and Greater Vancouver real estate market using real numbers from the real estate board. This update is especially important if you're considering upsizing, downsizing, or buying your next home within the next 6 to 12 months. The opportunity and risk looks very different depending on where you're shopping for, a detached home, condo, or townhome. Today, we're covering May 2026 numbers, and we're also going to be comparing Burnaby and Vancouver together because despite it being right next door to each other, they're not telling the same story right now. Let's start with the big picture. Section 1, Burnaby-Wide Headline. Burnaby is firmly in a buyer's market across virtually every area and property type. Sales to active ratios are sitting well below 20% thresholds we use to define a balanced market. Most segments are currently between 7 to 15%. Buyers have options. Sellers have competition. Homes are taking longer to sell than they were a year ago. And that's creating a market where patience is being rewarded, especially for buyers who are willing to negotiate. Here's a number that really captures what's happening right now. Benchmark prices across Burnaby are down anywhere from 5 to nearly 11% year over year. That's not a rounding error. On a $2 million house, a 10% correction is about $200,000. And on a $750,000 condo, a 7.5% decline is more than about $56,000. These are meaningful changes that affect real people making real decisions. Days on market are also up across the board. Burnaby South detached homes average about 28 days on market in May, up about 47% from last year. Sellers are waiting longer. Buyers aren't feeling pressure to rush. More inventory, fewer sales, longer marketing times, softer prices than we saw at the peak for sure. That's the Burnaby headline. But not every segment is behaving the same way, and that's where things start getting interesting. Detached homes are where we're seeing some of the largest dollar movements. Burnaby South benchmark price sits at $2,008,100, down 9.7% year over year. There were just 18 sales against 202 active listings, giving us an 8.9% sales to active ratio. That's firmly in a buyer's market territory. One encouraging sign for homeowners is that benchmark pricing actually increased slightly from April. It's too early to call a trend, but it may suggest a floor is beginning to form. Burnaby North's benchmark price is about $1,885,000, down 8.2%. Inventory climbed to 48 active listings in May, up 12% from April alone, while sales fell to 17. The market is becoming looser, not tighter. Days on market reached 49, up 63% from a year ago. Burnaby East remains the most affordable entry point at $1,748,000, down 5.5%. Inventory has actually tightened relative to the other Burnaby regions, and the price decline is the smallest of the three markets. Burnaby East detached homes have simply held up better. The takeaway? We haven't seen buyers hold this much leverage in detached market for several years. That doesn't mean every seller is desperate, but it does mean buyers have more negotiating power today than they've had in a long time. And for sellers, pricing strategically isn't an option. Buyers are informed, they're patient, and they're comparing every listing against a growing amount of competition. Condos remain the highest volume segment in Burnaby. The story across Burnaby South and Burnaby North is largely the same. Prices are lower, inventory remains elevated, but transactions are still happening for sellers who are positioned correctly. Burnaby South benchmark sits at about 743,900, down 7.5% from last year's 804,000. There are currently 516 active listings and 64 sales, creating a 12.4 sales to active ratio. That's still buyer's market territory, but noticeably healthier than detached homes. Burnaby North tells a slightly different story. The benchmark price is $689,000, down 6.5% year over year. However, inventory has actually been shrinking, falling from 701 active listings last May to 541 today. That's a meaningful shift. Sellers have remained relatively steady throughout that period. When inventory begins shrinking while demand remains stable, price stabilization often follows. It's not happening yet, but it's definitely a segment worth watching. Across both markets, buyers have negotiating room. At the same time, sellers who are priced correctly are still attracting buyers and are getting results. The days of automatic multiple offers at asking price are largely behind us for now. Up until now, everything we've discussed has pointed towards a buyer's market. But there is one segment that's breaking the trend: Burnaby North townhouses. In May, the sales to active ratio reached 26.8%. In Burnaby, operating within a balanced market territory. Every other segment is sitting between roughly 6% to 15%. The benchmark price is $915,000, down just 1.5% year over year. Compare that to Burnaby South townhomes, down 5.8%, and Burnaby East townhomes, down 8.1%. Burnaby North townhomes have held their value remarkably well. A big reason is Brentwood. It's become a sweet spot for move-up buyers who want more space but don't want to stretch into detached homes. Strong transit access, excellent amenities, and better affordability than many comparable Vancouver neighborhoods create a compelling combination. If you own a Burnaby North townhome, your position is significantly stronger than most homeowners in Burnaby right now. And if you're shopping in this segment, expect less negotiating room than you're seeing in other areas. Here's a question I get asked all the time: should I buy in Burnaby or just stay closer to Vancouver? The honest answer is it depends what you're buying. Both markets are in a buyer's market territory right now. Neither is on fire, so the decision really comes down to the property type, and the numbers are pretty clear. If you're looking at detached homes, Burnaby wins on value. Vancouver East is actually down more year over year than most of Burnaby, nearly 10%, but the benchmark price is around $1.65 million. Burnaby East comes in at $1,748,000. That's only a $93,000 difference, and you're getting more land for it. If you're looking at townhomes, it's not even close. Vancouver East townhomes benchmark price is just over $1 million. Burnaby townhomes range from $846,000 to $974,000. That's up to $200,000 less, with similar SkyTrain access. Two quick takeaways before I let you go. If you're a buyer, this is a window, not a fire sale, but a window where you have time to be thoughtful. Sellers are more motivated than they've been in years, and prices have pulled back meaningfully from the peak. Once rates condition improves and demand returns, this window closes, and it always does. If you're a seller, homes priced correctly are still selling. We're seeing 17 to 26 detached sales per month across Burnaby sub areas, but overpriced listings are piling up. Priced to the current market, not 2022. Buyers know the numbers. So that's your Burnaby market update for May 2026. If this was useful, subscribe. I do this every single month, so you always know what's actually happening, not what the headlines are saying. If you want to know what your Burnaby home is worth right now, the link for a free valuation is in the description. And if you want to know exactly what it costs to actually buy a home right now, not just the price tag, but the full price, watch that next. Thank you for watching.